Hey everybody, welcome to How to Draw a Shark 101. This is basically a new concept that I have that I'm going to try and do a tutorial, like a drawing tutorial. And the idea is that I will do some really basic, simple, for complete beginner type drawing tutorials, but I'll also include a little science in there. So this first one's going to be how to draw a shark, and we'll start with a really simple design, and then I'll give you some tips on some more advanced designs if you'd like to take it a little further. So first step is you're going to draw a happy face. Now your happy face, depending on if it's a really big happy face or a real shallow happy face, that's going to change the shape of your shark. Once you get your happy face on there, you're going to do a frowny face right on top of that. Just like that. You can kind of connect them if you want. And this is your shark body. Now the shark body is kind of torpedo shape. That's going to make it more hydrodynamic, which means it can go through the water easier. In order to do that, it needs something to push it through the water, and that's going to be a big caudal fin or tail fin. And the way we draw the tail fin is we just draw a triangle, a long triangle on top, like so, and then a shorter triangle down here on the bottom. This is your basic shark caudal fin. A lot of sharks have this kind of little other triangle comes out here. You see I gave it kind of a little curve right there as well. But this is kind of for the fancy shark here. Now the other fins that the sharks have are the dorsal fin. That's the one on the back, the famous one with jaws going through the water. And that's going to start a little bit past the halfway mark, going back from the snout of the shark. So that's going to also be a triangle. And you can also give it a little curve right there if you'd like to do that and make it a little fancier. Now this is the first dorsal fin, and most shark species have two dorsal fins. Some of them it's the same size. A lot of them it's a little bit smaller. So we're going to give this shark a second dorsal fin that is a little bit smaller. Now while they're swimming through the water with this dorsal fin, it's kind of stabilizing them. They also have pectoral fins. The pectoral fins are like our pectoral muscles. Think about where those are on us. And these are going to help steer the shark and also stabilize them as well. And they're going to go a little bit ahead of your dorsal fin. And I just draw it like a rounded, it's kind of a round bit to the triangle there. And if you want, you can put the line up here like that. And I also give that a little bit of a curve. Then you take your eraser, you just erase this line like so. All right, now sharks need more fins than this though. They've also got a pelvic fin. So the pelvis, the kind of the right below the waist is what you would think of on a shark. If a shark had a waist, it's kind of right below that. And the pelvic fin kind of looks like this. Sort of a triangle, but not quite. And if you made it a triangle, it would look okay if you're worried about making this fancy shape. And then another fin, one last little fin called the anal fin, which is just going to go right underneath there. So this is your shark body with all the fins, but of course we need some more parts on our shark. We need to have some nares or nostrils up here at the top. And then your shark mouth can vary. If you want it to be a cartoony shark, then maybe you could do like a curving triangle like this, make it a very happy shark. If you want it to look a little more realistic, that's what I'm going to do with my shark here. You can kind of do an upside down or a different direction triangle. Also notice the curve on this one. This is really going to sell it, kind of a frowny triangle, if you will. Now I'm going to take my eraser. I'm just going to erase away right here. And I'm going to draw in the teeth, which are really easy to draw because, of course, sharks have triangular shaped teeth. Actually, that's not always true. There are over 400 species of shark, and different sharks have different shaped teeth depending on what they eat. But, of course, the classic shark tooth is sort of a triangle shape. Now the eye can be a little confusing. A lot of people want to put the eye up here, and that may look weird, and that's because it is weird. That's not where the eye goes. Eyes on sharks are going to be above the mouth, closer to the front. So if I'm going to put my eye right in there, and that's going to look more natural because that's where their eyes would be. Now with the eye, what I like to do is I like to just draw a little circle inside the eye, and then I'm going to color in around that, and that's just going to be a little highlight and a black eye. This is kind of a more realistic eye. You could do a cartoony eye with a circle and another circle for like the pupil and sort of the iris, and give it that sort of a look if you want. It's up to you. You can do whatever kind of eye you want. Sometimes on cartoony sharks, I will even give them sort of a line going through the eye to kind of look like an eyelid coming through. So you can even do this kind of thing. You could even give them eyelashes. I've done it before. No, sharks don't have eyelashes, I know, but this is a cartoon shark, and cartoon shark can have whatever you want them to have. Okay, now there's one thing we're missing still, and that is pretty important, and those are the gills. So the gills on the shark are going to go in front of the dorsal fin, and most shark species have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're just subtle curved lines. There are some sharks that have different numbers of gills, but the majority have 5. So you give your cartoon shark however many you want, but just know that real sharks typically have 5. And you can also add another part of the pectoral fin if you want there to kind of give it a more 3D look. And a couple trinkets to add on to your shark would be, for example, you could have a little line coming through here, and then goes down here, hits this fin, goes underneath. Now, what this represents is sharks have what's called counter shading, and a lot of animals have this. Penguins, stingrays, alligators, lots of animals. And what it means is they're darker on the top and lighter on the bottom. And the way this works is that if you are swimming above the shark, or you are on top of the water, you're looking down, and underneath is the dark bottom, and the shark's going to blend in. But if you are swimming underneath the shark and looking up, now you've got the sunlight shining down, and that sunlight's going to be brighter, and now it's still going to blend in because of the lighter underbelly on your shark. So that's called counter shading, and that is a characteristic that a lot of animals have. You start paying attention to different animal species, and you will notice that quite often. All right, so this is it. This is your basic shark. If you want, you can color it on the top here. Color it whatever color you want to color your sharks. A lot of sharks come in different colors. I'm just going to move him off to the side and just show you a couple other things you can do. So if you want to vary your lines, you can get much different looking sharks. So we could do a real narrow smiley face. It's kind of curvy, more curvy on one side than the other. This is going to give us a different kind of shark. And sharks, for example, that live in the water column are going to have more of an even tail. So we'll make this shark more of a fast swimming shark. This and this are closer to the same size. That's going to help them to speed through the water. We're still going to do our dorsal fin here, do our second dorsal fin, our pectoral fin, and our pelvic fin here. Hit it with the eraser a little bit. There, just like so. And then we're going to do the eyes up, the mouth up here. Go like that. We'll get our eye in there, and our nostril, get our gills in. 4, 5. Get our eraser and get rid of this here. Give that eye a little bit of darkness, and we'll put in our counter shading lines, and voila, you've got a different looking, oh, he needs some teeth, different looking shark there. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try a more cartoony shark maybe. So now we can let's do this. Let's take a really broad, deep smiley face, and on the top, we're just going to make it a little bit more subtle. And then we're going to add that caudal fin again. This time I'll give them a little triangle there. We can give this one a little triangle too. And we'll do a little dorsal fin. Now this is a cartoony shark. Maybe you don't want to give him all the fins. It's up to you. I'm going to give him most of his fins because I like to be somewhat accurate. It's a blessing and a curse. All right, there we go. Now we're going to give him his gills, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put them really close together. You know, if you put 5 gills down, you're like, wow, that looks like way too many gills. Maybe just put them a little bit closer together. And we'll give him a nose here. And then this one, let's get a little fancy with the mouth here. We're going to go a line this way and then down this way like this. And I'm just going to give it a little extra oomph down at the bottom here. Let's just erase this out. What I mean by oomph is just a little bit. See that little curve I put in right there just to emphasize that there's a little jaw there. And then we'll give him or her teeth. And this eye here, we'll give this one more cartoony eyes. There. Little highlight. The highlight really sells it. It makes it a little more realistic looking. Okay. And we'll do the counter shading line here. Looks good. Even on a cartoon shark, that's going to look good. Now, here's another couple things that are kind of cool you can add in if you want to get super realistic on your sharks. Most sharks have little dots here that represent their ampullae of Lorenzini, and those are a special sensory organ they use to pick up electrical currents in the water, which is pretty cool. And then they also usually have kind of a crease, kind of a line that goes from the tail and then sort of curves up, and this is part of their lateral line, which most fish have this lateral line, and it picks up like pressure changes in the water, that sort of thing. And there we have it. There we have another shark. So even if you want to draw a super realistic shark, the principles are going to be the same. You're going to have a similar shaped body, different tail and dorsal fin sizes, and it's going to be the same thing. You're just going to pay a little more attention to your curves. Maybe your dorsal fin is going to be more like this. So you got a little point here that goes in. Maybe this is a little more rounded up at the top. Your caudal fin might be a little rounded like this to be on a little more realistic shark. Maybe this is rounded as well. Subtle things like that are going to be the difference between your cartoony sharks and your realistic sharks, but the principles are the same. Well, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think. Do you want to see more of these? I would love to do some more, but I want to make sure that people are interested, so give me some feedback, and thank you for watching. All right, bye-bye.